Welcome to Destination Q. I'm Tommy the Butcher, Vin Picard to my right, Charlie Baldwin to my left. We are Wise Guys Barbecue. We're here in Somerville, Massachusetts to check out one of the premier barbecue destinations in all of New England. With 30 years under his belt in the kitchens, chef, owner, pitmaster, author, and philanthropist, Andy Husbands has built quite an empire for himself with over 6 locations in and around the Boston area. This is a Smoke Shop BBQ. We're gonna head inside, we're gonna take an up close and personal look and show you exactly why the Smoke Shop BBQ is worth the trip for your Destination Q. All right, we're here at the Smoke Shop BBQ in Assembly Row here in Somerville, Massachusetts. We have the honor and the pleasure of meeting chef, owner, pitmaster, author, philanthropist. The man does it all. He's been with the Smoke Shop BBQ for, you've opened 2016?
Yeah, we're coming on our 10th year anniversary.
10th year anniversary, and you're up to 6 locations?
6.
All in and around the Boston area. Hands down, one of the best Destination Q spots you can find anywhere in New England.
Pack up the family, make a reservation, and get down here.
And try the old fashioned. Wow.
Now, Andy has been in kitchens for close to 30 years. Born in Seattle, been in the kitchen since he was 14 years old. Opened his own place, Tremont 647.
1996.
1996. And above all, he was also a competitive barbecue pitmaster as well. Had a tremendous team, IQUE, all kinds of awards. And if I'm not mistaken, you won the Jack Daniels Invitational.
Yeah, but I would like to say that I am, I'm like a member of the team. We're
Gotcha.
led by a guy named Chris Hart. I really want to give him, give him props.
Gotcha.
He's our team leader, and yes, our team did win the world championship.
Fair
enough.
In 2009.
In 2009.
And it's highly notable that they were grand champions. And the reserve grand champion was Jack's Old South.
Mr. Myron Mixon.
Mr. Myron Mixon, probably one of the godfathers of barbecue. But we're here, we're gonna go take a look in the back room and through the kitchen and see what they're all about. And we're gonna take you up close and personal here at the Smoke Shop BBQ, Assembly Row in Somerville, Mass.
This is Assembly Row. At Assembly Row, and all of our locations, we have on a killer whiskey list. So if you look over here, you can see there's about 250 to 300 labels. Some of them are private barrel selections. We love whiskey, and I can go deep into why we love whiskey if you want at some point. But you know, the easy way is it partners real well. Big flavors, really holds up. So tons and tons of whiskey. Come on back. At every location, we have what we call a knife wall. It's kind of like you can see, it's made out of cutouts and stamps of knives. Somewhere in all of our restaurants, we have an American flag. This one happens to be right up there.
Nice.
Oh, the knife wall.
These guys are where the magic happens
Oh, you
here.
want
We're gonna somewhere between I don't know, 200 and 500 customers today easily. We serve about 12 to 15,000 people a week at all of our locations combined. So come on back here. This is our pit room. For wood, we're a big fan of using what's local. So this is a lot of oak. White oak is kind of the main thing, but we'll also see maple, we'll see cherry, we'll see apple, but a lot of oak for us. This guy's not on, I don't think either of them are on. You can see tonight he's getting ready.
Briskets, yeah.
Prepping our briskets. We use cab, certified Angus beef, Demcoda. These are really great. So he's gonna prep all of these for tonight.
Are they all prime briskets or?
These are like top choice, bottom
Yep.
prime.
Yep.
That's generally what cab is. So these guys are just gonna pump out food all day. Basically, we smoke about 3 times, 4 times a day. They're gonna pull ribs, they're gonna pull briskets, and then these guys are just gonna be cutting and slicing and going throughout the night. It's a complicated thing to do. That's about it. I mean, we're not a lot.
And you have 6 of these.
Yeah.
How do you pull that off? I mean, I'm amazed just running one, you got 6 of them. You must have a hell of a team.
Yeah. That's Chef Jim right there. He's awesome.
All right, Chef.
New father. yeah, it's just, you know, plan to succeed or prepare to fail.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's not that difficult.
I was
So
wondering-
here's kind of fun. So what we're doing is you can see he's loading the pits right now. So you can see he's rubbing them, right? This brisket rub that we do is salt. It's about 50% salt, 50% pepper, and 10% secrets. And yeah, so heavily coated. He's gonna load them. We load them in a cold pit, and then we light it. And that's gonna do is it's the combination between the heat of the smoke and the coolness of the meat actually helps develop kind of the bark and the smoke ring. Yeah, pretty neat. So every night we do the same thing. Every location is doing it. These will be pulled out tomorrow morning, somewhere between 8 and 10 a.m.
And that will be for tomorrow's service.
Yeah, we're gonna go through about, I don't know, 180,000 pounds of brisket this year. More next year.
Just at this location? Or
No, all
together?
locations. They do about 50,000 pounds of brisket here.
Oh, unbelievable.
Maybe a little more, 60.
Another highlight on your menu that I absolutely love is the crack cake.
Yeah. I collect old cookbooks, and what I really like is old like church cookbooks or like, you know, ones from like, you know, that are real, with real recipes. And so my buddy turned me on to this, and you know, I had never seen it, but if you're from St. Louis, you absolutely know it's called St. Louis Ooey Gooey Butter Cake.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And so it's a very traditional, and it's a Depression era cake. And it was made in the 1920s. It's basically similar to like a pound cake with a baked cream cheese topping on it. When you serve in a restaurant, every portion needs to be the same. So we cut out pieces of the butter cake, leaving the outside. We realized the outside was the best part. We call it the crack because it's so addicting.
Oh, yeah.
So we just started selling that as kind of a premium, really great thing.
So what was your first gig?
My first gig? What do you mean by that?
First gig, your first head chef job. Even before that.
So, I mean, I went to Johnson Wales University, and in the summers, I worked on Block Island, and I worked for a restaurant that's no longer there, hasn't been there for years, Block Island Broiler.
Okay.
And I was, in the fall season, I ran it, and that was kind of my first kind of sort of head chef gig kind of thing.
Yep. Did you live out there?
Oh yeah, for the summers,
you
yeah.
have to, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's great. It's the best experience
How
ever.
did you, back when you were doing competition, Q, I'm not sure how involved you were, but how were you balancing that with, now you must have been a chef or working in a restaurant at the same time. So how did you find balancing that out, doing competitions on weekends and?
Yeah, what I like to say is, you know, I had a restaurant and I had a mistress, and her name was Barbecue, and I would spend weekends with her. So, but you know, you're talking about 15 weekends a year, so not all of them, but in the summer a fair amount.
That is quite a bit.
You know, and but by the time, you know, you find the time. You know, in restaurants you can work other days and stuff. So, and I've always had good teams. So that's kind of, you asked me how I do this, and how I have multiple places. I have 200 employees. I have a skill set. One of my skill sets is building teams. That's what I'm good at.
Oh, obviously.
Kind of huge skill set to have, because a lot of people don't.
Yeah, there's other skill sets I don't have.
They struggle.
But it's being able to recognize talent and grow or grow that talent, you know, and be able to do that.
Yeah.
So we got up close to the restaurant, kitchen. Besides the dining aspect, you offer a lot of services, classes, catering services. I know you do a lot of things with the holidays. Thanksgiving, for example. You can actually place orders for entire dinner. So
yeah, we do the whole Thanksgiving thing. And in fact, this year, this location will be open for Thanksgiving.
Really?
Is that right?
Yeah, we really put it to our teams and asked, is this something you want to do? And we had enough people raise their hands, and we think it would be a fun thing to do. You know, when you talked about all these things that we do, the through line is hospitality. And so it's being hospitable to our team members and being hospitable to our guests. And that's kind of like our through line, and try to provide something for everybody. You know, our team members and our guests.
And that's creating a repeat business.
Hopefully.
People come back, you know, when they've got a place that they like, they come back to it multiple times.
Our policy is to treat everybody like grandma. So
Fair enough.
when you treat grandmas with love, reverence, respect. If you had to move grandma, she's at your house and sitting in a chair, but all of a sudden you realize that you needed to move that chair and you had to move grandma, you should be horrified, right? Just like as if you have to move a guest from one table to another.
Yeah.
But you can also tell grandma to pump the brakes on the drinks. You know, you can be like, maybe it's time to go, grandma.
6 old fashions is enough.
You know, and that's okay, as long as it's done with love and respect and reverence.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
So you don't embarrass the person, something like that.
So like that's kind of our it's really easy for management is if you're a new manager for me, I'm like, do you know the grandma thing? And you're like, what? And I'm like, let me tell you, treat everybody like your grandma.
So why barbecue? That's my big question is why did you get into barbecue of all things?
Well, as I mentioned before, barbecue was my mistress for many, many years, and I fell in love with her. But when I talk about barbecue, it's not just a verb, it's not just a noun, it's a living thing. Like people are barbecues, right? Anyway, so when we're traveling around the country, competing in barbecue, eating at barbecue places, feeling the generosity, being brought into to see their pits, to see all these different things, it was just such a cool community. And what's really neat about barbecue, and you can put this toward your Thanksgiving turkey, nobody cooks a brisket for themselves.
You're right.
Right?
Yep.
Well, crazy people do, like me maybe, but most people don't cook a brisket themselves. It is this act of giving.
Yes. Absolutely.
12 hours of giving myself so you can come over and have it, right? And I love that thought.
Yeah.
And barbecue is the friendliest. It's the cuisine. It's the cuisine of get-togethers, family celebrations, graduations, reunions, and so it's such a fun cuisine,
It absolutely is.
And while we're serious about it, we don't have to take ourselves seriously.
Yeah.
And one great aspect of it, over the years, I've always done backyard barbecues for family, 30, 40, 50 people. And when everything is ready to go, everything's ready, you're done. You just sit back and watch everybody enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
You're not on top of a grill, flipping burgers, flipping dogs. You work all night long. You prepare everything, get everything set, out on the table. All right, everybody, it's on.
And if you
You
go
just
back
sit
to
back and watch
go
it.
back to some of our earlier shows, and like when we first got into this, that was like we started out by doing some trips to Carolina, north and south, and the thing we came away with was how, like you said, everybody was like so, I want to say nice, but there's more than that. Like it's so helpful, and nobody talked bad about anybody else.
Yeah.
If we went to one place, they would recommend some other place to go. Oh, you got to try this place next, And we got in that vibe from the competitions to the restaurants. Just that, like
It's
you
a
said,
really
a family
cool
type
community.
vibe.
And everybody wants to share what they know,
Yeah,
share their experience.
Right.
So it's great hearing you say that.
Yeah. So that's kind of why, I just fell in love with it. So I thought this would be a fun, worthy, exciting challenge that I'm passionate about. Right? So
Obviously.
it fit well for me.
Right.
Did you think it would get to the level that you're at right now? Did you envision, what do you have now, 6 places?
Yeah, we're not done yet.
See, this is what I'm saying. So we're going to go bigger.
Yeah.
Is that the vision?
I mean, so it's, for me, that's a good question. I have a lot of confidence. So I believe in myself, I believe in my product, and I believe that this would happen, and I think we're going to do more.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Andy, it was an absolute pleasure and an honor to meet you.
Great interview, bro.
Thank you for
Appreciate it
giving
so
us your
much.
time.
Yeah, anytime. I'll do
really-
more
really
with you guys.
appreciate it.
Whatever you want.
Awesome.
I love this stuff.
Appreciate it.
If you need more, let me know.
Hey, so we're going to wrap it up here with Andy at Smoke Shop in Boston. A great interview. Great catching up with this guy. He's got great vision, great passion for barbecue, and that's right up our alley. So once again, thank you, my friend.
My
Appreciate
pleasure.
In your
it.
Thank
car,
you.
take a ride to the Smoke Shop BBQ. 6 locations. It's worth the effort for your destination. IQUE.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Adios.